What's going on, everybody? Computer Guy Chris here, and I just got my new phone. It's the iPhone SE 2020, so it's small, it's got the body of the iPhone 8, but I really love this phone. Since it's a new phone, I just wanted to do everything I could to protect the phone, so the first things I did was get a back screen protector and a front screen protector, and now I have to choose a case. And I've done some research on cases, kind of figuring out what I think are the pros and the cons for each case, and I just wanted to share what I found with you, so if you have the same phone I do, or a similar phone, you can choose the case that works best for you. So let's get started. Alright, so before taking a look at each of the cases, like I said, I have 5 in front of me. I want to talk a little bit about why I love this phone. So this is the iPhone SE 2020. It came out just last year. It's got the body style of the iPhone 8, but the internals of the iPhone 11. So it's using the A13 Bionic chip to run all the processes. And that just makes everything really snappy. Everything comes up on the screen really quick. Pictures come out really great because the processing is so good, even though it's using the single camera that the iPhone 8 had. And yes, it is just a single camera. It doesn't have that dual camera or tri-camera setup that some of the newer iPhones have. So the things I really loved about this phone was, one, its size. And that's actually one of the reasons I got it, was because compared to the newer iPhones, particularly the iPhone 11 is just a big phone. And this phone is just much smaller. It fits in my pocket perfectly. It doesn't feel like it's weighing me down. And the iPhone 11, I'm not sure how much thicker it is than the iPhone SE 2020, but it definitely is bigger. It's got a bigger display, but it's just a bigger phone overall. My only complaint about the iPhone SE 2020 is the battery life. It comes stock with a 1,821 milliamp hour battery, which is okay if you're a light user. You'll probably get through the day. But if you want to do some heavier things, if you like to be on YouTube or run your phone all day, by the end of the day, you're probably running on some pretty low juice. And so I just wanted to make sure that I would be able to get through the day safely. So when I was looking for a case, I was really looking for 2 main things. Well, 3, I guess. The first one, to protect my phone, but that's kind of obvious. The second one, I didn't want the case to be so thick that it took away from, what made this phone so special, which was its small size. So I didn't want the case to make it too much bigger. And then third, if possible, I would want a case that had additional battery life in it so that I could recharge my phone well on the go if I was ever on a hike, and I could just have it right in the case and charge my phone. So the latter 2 cases in this video are going to be battery cases, which were super cool, and I have some pros and some cons on them, and I'll talk about them when I get there. So let's get started on the cases. The first case I took a look at, and this actually, I got this with my phone. I bought my phone used and then just moved it over to my carrier, and this was the case it came with. This is the i-Blason case, or i-Blason case. I really like this case. So this, like I said, is the case that it came with. It is about 0.5 inches thick, so the iPhone SE 2020 stock comes at 0.29 inches, so this is 0.5, meaning it adds an extra 72% onto the thickness. So it doesn't feel super thick when you're holding it, even with the phone in it. So the phone just goes in, slides right in there, and then you get pushed down on each edge, and it fits perfectly. It feels really comfortable in your hand. It feels sturdy in your hand too. I think because of these edges, it kind of like bows out, as you guys can see. And that just makes it feel really secure in your hand. It also comes with a belt clip, which I attach to my backpack for when I go hiking, so I can just snap it right into my backpack and I don't have to worry about it too much. But it's got a nice kind of rubbery feel texture, and then it's got this hard plastic on the back too, so it's really protected if you ever drop your phone, which obviously was one of the first things I was looking for. Additionally, another really cool thing on this is it's got this little clip here that you can use to sit your phone down this way or this way. Kind of sits like that. if you watch YouTube or if you're ever on like Facebook videos, which is what I use it for. And it just kind of like sit your phone up and you can watch it. So that's just another really nice feature. And then sometimes if I'm like in bed watching stuff on my phone, I'll just put my finger through this and then I can hold it here, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So I really like this case. On Amazon, it's $15, and I'm going to have links for all of the cases that I talk about in the description below. So if you like any of the cases, if you think they kind of fit what you're looking for really well, you can just find them in the description below. So this case, I would say it's out of the cases that I'm looking at, it's probably my my second favorite. So I really like this one. I don't know if I would buy it new because there is a case that I like even more. But like I said, this came free with my iPhone. So I like this case a lot. If you do hiking and you want one that you can just clip right into your backpack, this might be the one to get. And if you drop your phone, to get a lot, because this really does protect your phone. The second case is the Shamo. And this is just a really, really simple, clear case. Nothing special about it. It's very, very thin. So like I said, the iPhone SE 2020 comes out at 0.29 inches, and this makes it just 0.39 inches. So it's the thinnest out of all the cases, and it's the cheapest out of all the cases. I got it for only $4, so it's by far the cheapest, but it's also, in my opinion, the worst. When you put the phone in, it fits. It doesn't fit great. You have a little bit of a ridge on the top, so you can lay your phone face down and you don't have to worry about it. It's got a little bit of ridge for the camera, so you can lay it face back or face up, and you don't have to worry about it too much. But the buttons don't really feel clicky in this case. It's got like this kind of harder plastic where the buttons are. I mean, it's fine if you only want to spend $4 and you just want kind of minimal protection on your phone, but it's not what I would recommend. Now we get to the third case, which is the Esr case. And this is my favorite case. So this is just like the previous one, just like the Shamo. This is 0.39 inches thick, almost the whole way down. It gets a little bit thicker down here, and I'll talk about that in a second. But it's kind of got that same material. It's a TPU material as the Shamo, but it feels more sturdy. It feels a little bit more sticky than the Shamos, and the buttons are really clicky. So it's got these little cutouts for where the buttons are, and the buttons still remain really clicky, which was something I really liked about this case. Just like the previous one, it's got a little bit of ridge for your front screen, a little bit of ridge for your camera, but you're not going to get like the best protection from this. If you drop your phone a lot, I would still go with the i-Blason. This one is great, and it's thin. It's definitely thinner than the i-Blason, but it's not going to give you as good protection. So if you drop your phone a lot, that's the one I would go with. But another really great feature about this ERS case is it also has a stand, just like the i-Blason. It's a different design stand. It's a clip instead of the way that one kicks out. But you can sit your phone like that. You can sit your phone like that. Well, they actually recommend like that. And you can change the angle of your phone. So that was kind of a cool feature that I found when I was trying this case out. Like I said, out of all the cases, this one was really my favorite. I don't tend to drop my phone very often, and this case made it feel secure. It's like the material is a little bit sticky, so it didn't feel like it was going anywhere. It felt protected enough. There was a little bit of ridge for the camera, a little bit of ridge for the screen, and it was really thin. And just a side note, even though this little stand looks like it's metal, it might be some type of metal. I don't think it is. I think it's plastic. But it doesn't stop you from wirelessly charging your phone. So far, none of the cases, so these past three, none of the cases would stop you from wirelessly charging your phone. But that was just something I was wondering when I got the case. It comes in a box like this, and you just pull it right out. And all it comes with is the case and some instructions. So like I said, this one was my favorite out of the 5. If you just got your iPhone SE and you don't have a case with it, you didn't get one free when you bought it, this is the one I would get, as long as you don't drop your phone too often. So now we're on to the last two, and the last two are battery cases. Like I said, the iPhone SE 2020 comes stock with a 1,821 milliamp hour battery. and that will get you through the day if you're not a heavy user. But if you want a little bit more juice, you can get a case that comes with a battery in it, and that's what I have here. I have two of them. So the first one I have is the U-Good battery case. It's a hard shell case, so you guys can hear it's hard plastic. The way you put your phone in is it's got this little top piece. It actually comes with two, but it's got this little top piece. You slide your phone in, and then you clip it in on the top with this piece, and it fits right in. I had a little bit of problem with fitting, but I think it's because I have a screen protector on the back and front of my case. This adds an extra 3,200 milliamp hours, so it's going to get you through at least a day. You'll definitely get to the night where you can recharge your phone, no problem. It could probably get you through 2 or 3 days if you're not a heavy user, if you're not constantly going on YouTube or anything like that. The buttons remain super clicky, which is a big advantage. And everything is really protected. The camera is really protected. The front screen, this case actually comes with a front screen protector, which is a nice bonus. For only $30, it's pretty nice that it comes with all of that. The things that I don't love about this case, and the reason I won't be keeping it, is one, it is a hard plastic that feels kind of slippery. So one of my worries about the iPhone SE 2020 is just that the curved edges kind of make it hard to hold on to. And this case does not really improve that. So it doesn't really give you anywhere to grip. And when I actually first held this case, I almost dropped it right there. I was a little bit afraid that it was just going to slip out of my hands because it's almost more slippery than just the iPhone 2020. It is the thinnest battery case I was able to find. So it only comes to a total of 0.53 inches, which is just a little bit thicker than the i-Blason case. And so adding that extra battery power and barely making it any thicker is kind of a big deal. It's kind of impressive. But the main reason I don't like this case is one of the things that I was looking for in a battery case would be the ability to put your phone in it, charge the case without charging the phone. So you could decide when the phone was charging and when the case was charging. And this case has this smart charging feature, which kind of takes that control away from you. When you plug the cable into the case, if your phone is in there, it's going to charge your phone first to 100% and then your case to 100%. And one of the things I was looking at when I was reading online is to keep your battery health premium, you want to kind of keep your charge somewhere between 40 and 80%. And so this case forcing your phone to get to 100% before it would start charging the case was a big disadvantage for me. And that's kind of what broke the deal for me. So I won't be keeping this one. But if you're just looking for a thin battery case, if you don't mind getting your phone to 100% before charging the case, which most people don't, I'm kind of a little bit weird on that. This is a good case to get as long as you're not afraid of dropping your phone. It's definitely got protection, but it is a hard plastic, so it's not going to absorb shock as well as something like TPU. But it's a thin case. It's the thinnest out of all of the battery cases I looked at. And I looked at a lot more. I just bought two. And the last case I have is another battery case, and it's the Swaller. So this case is actually the one I had on my phone the longest. It has kind of a rubbery top, so instead of having that clip where you take off and slide your phone in, it's just got a rubbery top that you bend back, and then you slide your phone in from the top, and then this kind of fits over it. So it does feel like it's got a little bit better shock protection. If you were to drop your phone, it feels like it would absorb the shock a little bit better. Buttons, just like the other ones, stay really clicky. The only one where that was a problem was the Shamo, that really thin $4 case. I didn't know what I was expecting. It also has that same 3,200 milliamp battery in it, so it's going to keep your phone charged all day easily, probably 2 days if you wanted. And it fits great. So it's another great case. Out of all the battery cases, this is probably the one I'd recommend. Your phone doesn't feel slippery in it. It's got, like I said, kind of that rubbery feel, so it feels nice and sturdy. If I was to do a battery case, this is probably the one I would do. But again, it's got that smart charging feature, which takes the control away from you. of deciding how much you want your phone to be charged and how much you want the case to be charged. And that was just something that was really important to me because, like I said, I'm trying to keep my battery premium. So I'm trying to keep charges between 40% and 80%. If any of you guys know any more about that, I'd love to hear from you. You can drop that in the comments. If you've had any trouble charging your phone to 100% or letting it die and go to 0%, I'd love to hear that. But this case is great. It's a little bit thicker than the UGood case. It comes to a total of 0.59 inches. So it's the only case that more than doubles the thickness of the iPhone SE 2020, but it doesn't feel that big. It also doesn't feel heavy really at all. The UGood case did feel a little bit lighter, and it's noticeably lighter, but the phone is really like at least 2 or 3 times heavier than the case. This case is a solid case, and I did like it. If it didn't have that, if it didn't force me to charge the phone to 100%, I'd definitely keep this case, and I'd recommend this one too. So those are kind of the 5 cases I looked at. I'm going to have a small visual right here so you guys can see how I broke it down and what I thought. If I could make a recommendation, if somebody asked me what was the best case out of all of them, I would recommend this Esr case with the little clip on the back for a stand. It's really thin, it's light, it doesn't add a lot to your phone, so it doesn't give you too many extra features other than just that media clip. But the buttons stay clicky, it is protected, and this was really my favorite case out of all of them. So if you guys have the new iPhone SE 2020, I'd love to hear what you guys think of it, what you guys are using it for, because I love this phone and I would just love to hear what you guys think of it too. If you have any questions on any of the cases, or if you have a recommendation for a case that you'd like me to try out and kind of give you my thoughts on, especially if it's a battery case that doesn't have that smart charging feature, I'd love to take a look at that. But thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this kind of content in addition to the OMSCS content, I'd love to hear that in the comments below. Keep an eye out for a new video coming out, which is going to be on my previous semester for the OMSCS program, which was machine learning. That should be coming out soon. But as always, thank you guys for joining me. Thanks, and subscribe.